Friends, good evening and welcome to both everyone alive and kicking in Littleport Village Hall, everyone alive and kicking at home, watching via Facebook and YouTube. Good evening, it's Littleport Village Hall. It's Thursday night and it's time for some spiritualism. Are you all ready? Yeah. Woo! Well, let's begin and get straight into it with a live and kicking. Just watch that, live and kicking on a Saturday morning, showing me age now, loves. Especially when I used to sit there and watch Rainbow. Wait until you get to a teenager and see Rainbow, the adult version. That really does scare you. But of course, I digress. The most important thing in Littleport as ever is showing the love, showing the joy, showing the upliftment. And of course, we got to show some love tonight. It's been nearly 2 years since we last welcomed her to Littleport Village Hall. So give it a big making up of 2 years worth. Welcome to our friend and medium for tonight, Linda Ferguson. And of course, welcome to all of you. Or in the words of Graham Norton, hello. So you've never been on the show, but we can sort that out. Friends, it's a Thursday night. Yes, I have lost it, not only figuratively, but I've lost the grippy thing that I can't remember, the brace. The wrist brace. I've got full mobility back. I'm here, full of the joys of spring, ready to provide upliftment and nourishment on the behalf of Spirit and this church and its members to everyone here present. And no, it's not gin, it's water, I promise. But friends, the most important part of an evening where we do have upliftment and laughter is, of course, to do things in the proper and appropriate manner. And of course, that proper and appropriate manner requires us, dictates us, needs us to open this service in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends, to unite under your banner of love and hope and friendship, to witness the proof and the truth that love and life is indeed eternal. We thank you, Great Spirit, for the opportunity to lift the veil, to show that the world of spirit is a true, real thing that is demonstratable by mediumship. And we also thank you, Great Spirit, for ensuring that we live in a world where there is an opportunity to be seen, to be heard, and have our voices heard. For we know that in this world there are those that do not have that opportunity. We pray for those that their voices might be loud and proud and filled with hope, and that we as a human race can join together and make that a possibility and become a reality. For we know that we are here not just to see that life is eternal, but to make sure that life on earth is as it is in heaven. And so I place this service in your care and keeping and make the statement as ever that everything we do will be in the name of love, in the name of truth, and in the name of light. Amen. Amen. 2 weeks in a row, I didn't do a spinneret after the prayer, because I've noticed that the really weird things that you do when you've got your eyes closed. Behave. When you've got your eyes closed and you stand there praying, sometimes you can start drifting in a circle. You can start drifting off, fall over chairs, trip over tables, because we shouldn't spend our life walking around with our eyes closed. And that's the truth. In this world, we often do without realizing. Now, what's that got to do with an evening of spiritualism, you might wonder? Well, everything that comes out my gob at this point is spirit directed. So the truth is, I haven't got a clue either, so I'm as much in the dark as you are, but I do feel a theme coming on somewhere. You see, we are so often surrounded by that darkness and that difficulty. We do spend our lives so frustrated with everything that's going on around us that sometimes it is easier to close your eyes, hang on tight, and see where it takes you. But what are you doing when you do that? You're giving up your free will. You're giving up your control. You're surrendering. Now, I was once told in one of my workshops that I do, where I work in my other job, that those that say, well, it is what is, might well be relaxed about life, but they're surrendering their control as well. We spend our lives surrendering our control on our lives because sometimes it is easier. Sometimes it's easier to listen to some person and let them tell us what we should do. Sometimes it's easier to shut our eyes and let someone else guide us along the path for fear of seeing what's in front of us. But it's dangerous. And it's not what we are given as human beings. It's not free will. It's not taking charge and control. And as I've been saying in the prayers every week for the last 2 months, we are here to make life as it is in heaven. Well, you can't do that with your eyes closed. Unless, of course, you're a medium and you sit and you connect with spirit and you close your eyes in meditation. But even mediums eventually have to open their eyes again because they've got to stand up and start letting it all out. We have to stop walking blindly into the future, and it's fair and understandable that it happens. The past scares us. The present fills us with dread, and the future even more so. But we can do more than that. We can do more than that because not only are we in a situation where we do have control of our lives, there's something really easy to do. Open your eyes and look ahead. Now, I know this is following on from either last week or the week before. I'm reminded that they spoke about the light behind shining ahead, but they've obviously got a plan. I don't know what that is. I just stand and speak. But my eyes are open to the truth that they're saying it for our benefit. And that's what spiritualist philosophy is about. Benefit. It's quite likely that not everyone will get a message tonight. But everyone watching will get a message from Spirit by the philosophy and the wisdom that Spirit gives, both through the readings, through the things that are said, through the messages that are received in this all, will touch the lives of others. And that is what we must do. Now, I'm sure people are thinking, it's easy for you to say, Nick. Is it? One thing I've learned over my life sucks. Let's be honest. It's pretty crappy sometimes even, isn't it? You can be honest, I don't mind. But I know that everyone who feels like that also has a strength that they underestimate. They have a power within their hearts that they do not recognize because they're not opening their eyes and looking in the mirror and seeing the truth of it all. That which does not kill you makes you stronger. That's a really old, well-known saying, isn't it? Well, let me tell you this, my friends. We go through rubbish, but we come out polished. Because you become stronger from the experiences you have. You become prepared for those experiences should they come again. You know what to expect. You know what's going to happen. You know what's going to feel in your heart. And you have a way of guarding yourself against them, building yourself against them. So, yes, life does give you lemons. But you've got two options. For those that have heard the old saying, make lemonade. For anyone that has been in a workshop with me, you can squeeze your lemon. And those that remember that will know exactly what I'm talking about and where the lemon goes. The point is, yeah, it can suck sometimes. But if you open your eyes, you'll realize you're not alone. If you open your eyes, you can see the hazards in front of you. If you open your eyes, you will know, just by looking in the mirror, that you are strong enough, powerful enough, and good enough to get through all that life throws at you. And how do I know this? Because you're still here. Because you're still standing, still fighting, still going on. You might feel pants, but you know what? You still get up in the morning. You still fight for what you believe, and you still find people that have something in common with you to help you along that journey. Because no one said that we have to walk this path alone. That, my friends, is a choice. We do not have to walk it alone. Before the pandemic, I used to do my philosophy and a song would pop into my head. And it hasn't happened recently, but one just has. You'll never walk alone. And just so you know, see Mum for earplugs for next week, because it's back. But the point, my friend, is that you never walk alone. You can't walk alone. Because I see all of you physical beings in this room right now with my physical eyes. But I see thousands upon thousands of spirit people filling this hall to the rafters, and quite high they are. Because they are here to support. They are here to encourage. They are here to engage. Just like we, the living spirit, are here to do the same. So never be alone. Never fight on your own. Open your eyes that you may see. Glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Oh, it's all coming back now. But I tell you what else God gave us as well as eyes. He gave us a gob. Me, he gave me quite a big one. I don't mind, you can say it. But we can open our gob and ask for help. It's not shameful. It's not defeatist. It's a magic word. And do you know what the magic word is? Help! Because you shout that, people are going to come running. Someone will always be there. Be it spirit, be your neighbour, be it the person driving the bus who you yell it at as they're driving past your house. There's a few of them gone past tonight. Shout. Be there. Open your eyes, open your ears, open your mouth. They're not designed to be closed forever. Between 6 and 8 hours a day, you can have your eyes closed. I'll let you have that. But the rest of the day, they're open. Walking boldly forward, bravely forward, truly forward. Because we are now coming up to an anniversary of an incident that opened the world's eyes. But unfortunately, can we say that we've truly done everything we needed to do about it? The same day, I closed my eyes to something else, and I suffered for it, and I should have listened. This is why I will always remember, for 2 reasons, the 11th of September. But we must never forget that those that have gone to the world of spirit have been through just as much poo-poo as we have, if not more. And they still come back for more. And so can we. Because we stand, we be proud, and we fight for what is ours. The ability to open our eyes, the ability to open our ears, and the ability to open our mouths and be free. And against any parliament of conqueror, against any power, against any horror, that need for freedom, of independence, of hope, and freedom of the dirge of the day can hold no sway. So open up, boys and girls, because it's party time. Let's start living our lives and knowing that that which does not kill us makes us stronger and more able to help others too. So thank you all for listening, and God bless you all. I think the internet would probably close down and fall asleep and add a couple of hours onto the 8 that I allowed if I did that. But thank you. Very kind. We'll have a philosophy evening one night, and then you can be bored to tears of my voice all night. Won't that be fun? Yeah, see my point. Well, there's a little bit more philosophy coming right up. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't get the machine up and running tonight, so Alan, we know you're watching. Hello. We'll have you back on, hooked up and ready and wired up and all sizzling next week. And I'm sure your reading that you had selected would have tied in. So let's further that test and test of the spirit by making sure that the reading matches the philosophy. I'm sure you will post it, Alan, for everyone who's watching at home and everyone who'll get home eventually if I ever shut up and get on with it. But we do have a reading tonight, stepping in at the very, very, very last minute with something very, very special and important. Samantha, come on up. Or if we're going to go by our usual theme, step up to the ocky, love.
Okay, right. This popped up this morning and amazing how it all ties in. It's called Changing the Past by a lady called Donna. The past is in the past for a reason. That is where it is supposed to stay. But some cannot let it go. In their heads, it eats away. Until all their focus becomes the person they used to be. The mistakes they made in their life. Oh, if only they could see. That you cannot change what's happened, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you think about it, no matter how much you cry. What happens in your lifetime happens for a reason unknown, so you have to let the cards unfold, let your story be shown. Don't get wrapped up in the negative. Be happy with what you've been given. Live for today, not tomorrow. Get up, get out, start living. Because the past is the past for a reason. It's been, and it's now, and it's gone. So stop trying to think of ways to fix it. It's done, it's unchangeable. Move on. Thank you.
Well met, well read. Blimey, thank you very much. Lovely. Now, I'm sure you'll share with that for everyone at home, won't you? And I will say thank you very, very much. And I'm sure everyone really does appreciate that. And once again, evidence, of course, that everything does tie up with a little bow and ribbon on the top. For most people, though, their depressing thought is that that bow doesn't tie around my gob sometimes. But hey, you can't have everything your own way. Friends, now is the time where we send out our thoughts to all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort. to all those who are in need of upliftment, support, strength and help, to all those who need their eyes opening. So we will join together with the healing prayer, at which point a certain young man called Jack will hit a magic button that plays some lovely music for us to be silent to, which means that I can join in, because when it stops, we will say the word Amen. So friends, send out your thoughts as we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, here we bring unto you all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort, be they sick in mind, body, or spirit, that it might please thee to heal them. Both those we know, those we do not know, and those who have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now. Amen.
Amen.
Well, friends, now is the time when I'm going to hand over the platform, nay the hall, nay the universe, to all of our friends watching at home. Don't worry, we don't get as much coverage as EastEnders. Although Holby City was a right corker last night. I don't know if anyone saw it, but there we go. Perhaps we can tune in and find out what happens next. But, you know, I'm sure somebody out there does, called a writer, I would imagine. But no, I hand over this service, this hall, this universe to a lovely lady and her friends and helpers. It's so good to have you back. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Linda Ferguson! And I'll lay that there for you too.
That's a good sign, actually. Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
I was expecting to go straight into the mediumship, but I have been given some words, because in the prayer and then in the words that Nick gave, beautiful, strong, but needing to be said, was a word, a small word, hope. Those of us who are in the spiritualist movement, whatever that may mean, we know what others strive to believe. And so we know that hope is there, that we can create, manifest by our prayers, our hopes, the words we send, in the same way as we know when we send a healing, that works. So why wouldn't we sending out hope to this beautiful planet at this time work? For most of the planet, the inhabitants with 2 legs have lost hope. They live in fear and dread. They do not know which way to turn. They don't believe this, they don't believe that. They're walking around with their eyes closed. It's as if they are sheep to be led rather than human beings that were given a fantastic computer called a brain to think for themselves. So when you are sending out your healing prayers, both formally, but also as you go about your daily lives, which you automatically do when you hear or see something, send out hope. Hope that they will see, that they need to see, and what they need to see, but also hope they will come to know what we do. Not just hope in vain, wanting to believe, but daren't in case they're disappointed. Hope that their minds will be turned to the light. For the light is made of hope, truth, love, so much unconditional love, but knowledge and wisdom too. Each of you are able to explain what we know and how they should hope for others too, in your own ways. For that is what the Spirit within you can do. Ask for the words and they will be given. Send out hope, H-O-P-E. Small word, but one of the greatest in the world. Thank you. Right now, I want to come to the lady in the red dress, if I may. I have a gentleman who has been waiting patiently, but then not so patiently, to speak. He didn't say he had to be first, but he was first in the queue. And this is the character he was when he was here. This gentleman, I want to say, I must say I feel more than see. People ask me how you feel things. I don't know, but I do. So I get that off out of the way. But he's making me feel that he was a tall man, but upright. So that doesn't necessarily mean tall in feet and inches, but he was a tall man who knew who he was, and he's making me feel that it's when somebody has to wear a uniform or in authority, but upright. You understand the term upright can mean it's that does things not just to benefit himself, but for others, not a bad, but thank you. He's saying not a bad bone in his body. He's been coming very much close to, he's actually made himself as if there's like a rainbow that's between the two of you. And rainbows to me always mean so positive. And I feel he needed to be first because of this word hope and people understanding and seeing. He would be that sort of person. Do you understand who we have? So I do feel that I always think that the ones who are going to step forward they do play another role. It's like they divert the words, the traffic around what is the theme of the evening. And I want to say that it is about knowing the truth. Yeah? And it's making me go like this. The truth. So that his energy is very strong. But he's also quite a humble man. Do you understand this? This is quite strange because, not strange, I don't mean that odd, but it's normally when the person, the recipient knows who we're talking to, things will move on, but it's like he needs to share what people didn't always know when he was here. Do you understand that? That some people could take him the wrong way. You understand that? So he's just, it's like he knows now who he was. He may not have known when he was here who he truly was, that great energy that people said that he had. It's making my arm quite, not painful. I don't get pains. So I don't know if there was a problem in the heart area with him or in this area. No, but in this area though? Sorry, I can't.
It started around the lungs and kidneys.
Oh, but yeah, so but symbolically it took me to this area, but that's fine. But what he stepped forward to say is he has been around the two of you, and it's almost, and it seems strange for like a grown man who seemed quite how he was, and proper, and I mean that in a positive way, to imagine him throwing sparkles around you with the rainbow, but it's to uplift you. You understand you needed upliftment around you? Yeah, well, yeah, but because it's that positive energy, and to bring that hope back. He said, it's a thing. I'm not going to sing. I am not going to sing. But you know, Annie, the sun coming out tomorrow, he's done that. But I'm not singing. See, I'm even walking backwards. That's what they tease me. That's really it's. He knows that it's things aren't as they should. That you don't feel that as you should do. But things can only get better. You've definitely said that. Which is very helpful, actually.
It is.
But yes, but it's almost like there's so much love he wants to give you, because he wants, and he's talking to both of you, because it's almost as if you don't know, eating individually, how strong your energy is, that strength, but together, you know, you're mighty, is what he's saying. He wants to shake your hand, gentlemen. But you're getting a hug. But I think that was his character as well. Yes, you understand that. But there is so much, and it's unconditional love. You know, that it's not just love. Love's a good word, but sometimes it's not quite explained as much as I want to say. And he's making me feel very emotional. But take his unconditional love.
Thank you.
Okay. Just a little word, actually. Can I come to the lady with the pink top? I've got a lady that's stepping forward close to you, but she's giving me very much a maternal feeling, but that doesn't always mean mother. But would grandmother?
I understand it.
But you understand that it's someone who's making me feel very maternal. That's fine. I don't question as long as you understand who it is. It's almost as if she's making me feel she's got a pinny on and not rolling her sleeves up, but like if she was a man, she'd be rolling her sleeves up, ready to get on. I don't think many people would go against her once she got going, but she was very. She couldn't sit still. There was always something that needed sorting out, and another again, I feel this lady who could come across quite brusque, but she had a heart of gold. She's making me feel like she could take everybody in the neighbourhood and solve their problems, yeah? And her heart was really big, but I don't feel she was very tall. She's making me feel sort of my height and that, but she's been trying to, you understand, I don't get told people's private business, but you understand there's something happening around at the moment that's needing sorting. Her sort of sorting, she's saying, yes. And she's been trying to inject, as it were, that, I shouldn't use those sort of words these days, but inject that sort of passion, as it were. She's not criticising you, but she's taking, I don't know if there's a problem in this area with her, because she's making my...
Oh, that's me.
Oh, is it? Because I'm definitely feeling something there, but it's like she's trying to inject that, you can do it. You don't have to be... I have to smile, sorry. You don't have to do what you're told, what people think you should do. Does that make sense to you? She's saying you've got you've got a good mind. You can work things out for yourself. But you have to, don't try and be so diplomatic at times.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Sometimes you just have to say it as it is,
Yeah.
because people become to accept that that's who you are, when it's not. You don't have to carry everybody's woes on your shoulders. And that's what she's doing. You understand this?
Okay.
You don't have to take other people's guilt. You understand that? And she's not going to let it happen, even if she has to come and haunt you at night.
Yeah.
So, but saying now she's got that message out of the way, she's very proud of how you have grown, and she's starting to show her true emotional side that she would hide. When she was here, she felt it was a sign of weakness. Do you understand that, Charlotte?
Yeah.
You always had to be there. But now there's something she wishes that had been done differently, but not your relationship. That was never, ever in question. And she hopes you understood that. You understood that. Yeah. So let the rest of the world get on with their own miserable lives. And I think that's how she would speak. Yeah. You just get on with yours, because you've got a lot more to achieve once you realise who you are, and you worry about yourself as well as others. Yeah. Okay. And she's saying, shall I do this or not? Because this is out of it, but it's like because that's not really her, but it is now. And when you feel that hand on your brow, which she's telling me you do, you understand this?
Yeah.
She hopes you realised it was her. Can I come to the gentleman directly in front of me? With the glasses? Hello. I want to say I have a gentleman and a lady stepping forward, and I want to go more on father's side of the family, yeah? And this would be grandparents, you understand?
Yeah.
Yes. It threw me a moment when you looked at me, because I'm actually seeing another pair of eyes that are looking at me exactly like you are. So the gentleman, you must have favoured him.
Yes.
Yeah, you understand that. That was his explanation, but really means like in character and looking. But because I do feel that you had to look him straight in the eye, or he would look at, other people as well. But it was almost as if you didn't, just don't bother talking to him. Because if you can't look somebody in the eye, you shouldn't be saying whatever you're saying to them. Does that make sense to you? I mean, he just assumed that somebody was either feeding him a load of... it would be.
It's a person I never met him, but I get a feeling they've got the same characteristics as what I do.
Yeah.
So I always tend to look people.
Yeah, that's it. Because his character was that you had for people to believe you even, or for him to believe someone else, you have to look them in the eye. And that's because I thought, it's almost as if he was looking into their souls.
Yes.
And he understood about, when I say understood about this, you understood that he was part of, he had a belief. Do you know that? Do you sorry?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know it?
No.
I'm not taking it back, but I'm asking him to give me something that you do know.
It's not something that, it's something I can quite easily accept.
Yeah, okay, because that's part of the character, the favouring of who
It does run that.
Yeah, no. Oh, well, that okay, so that makes sense then, because it was that not necessarily doing this, but that spiritual way of living,
Yes.
the compassion and the healing and everything. And he's saying, if looks could be deceptive, that's you. You understand that? That it's like you don't really fit what people's expectation, think someone who has the healing energy that you have would be.
Okay. Probably not, no. Probably.
But you understand that you are a strong healer. He's going to say no,
I think
isn't
we
he?
all are.
You could like that.
Is it?
I think we all can.
No. Yes, I'm not disagreeing with that. But it's like you have this specific way of, you're not even realising you're doing it.
Okay.
But also it's with the words, it's not just the channeling, it's the whole thing. He's talking as if you don't counsel people in a formal way, but you do understand though. He's saying, tell him, ask him, I will ask you. You understand though that people value your advice.
It's only something I have recently become aware of in a strange way, but yes.
But the answer is yes.
Yes.
He's saying,
The long way around.
yes, yeah. Because
Usually with Barry, it's the long way.
Yeah, it's always a long way around.
is that how it is? Because that's what the message is. Don't take the detour.
Yeah.
You'll get there a lot quicker if you just take the straight road. It is, it's almost as if go on the motorway, not the scenic route, because he's become quite, it's like a serious turnout because there's so much needed in the world, and he actually is saying to you as well, Nick, is that you don't fit the bill of the pious, do-gooder. So you'll reach, and he means that as a compliment, and as a compliment. You can reach more people because there's more people you need to reach.
Okay. I think that's, yeah.
And he is actually, again, bringing you into the conversation. As he just needs to kick up the...
Yes. Quite often people need a kick up the what's.
Well, that's why you've been given the job. But he says, in all seriousness, it's like what was said with the words I was given, that everybody in this room, you just don't realise the energy that you've got. So, because sometimes smiling and laughing helps even more. But you've all got individuals. Do you know if he sort of was a speaker? Because it's like he's used to, he's talking, he's sort of taken on this rock. That's allowed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't got a rule that it can't sort of start talking to everybody.
No, but I can understand that. It's almost like a bring sometimes.
Yeah, but that's what he's sort of, yeah, it's like he's talking to everyone, because you all have to, the time is now that you have to let your light shine, but everybody sees it. And that's his words, not mine, but it's to everybody. Saying that, he really admires you. He doesn't want to have sounded like, because you have achieved a lot in your life, he's saying, by the way that you are.
Yes.
Yeah? The quiet, unassuming person.
Yes, I am quite person.
But now's the time to take up the mantle. You've got to, you're on the last, I don't think he means this literally, but symbolically, you're on the last leg of your journey in life, the last leg of the relay, because you've had to change, he's saying, that through your life.
Yes.
And now you've been given that baton, but it's going to take you to the end.
It's almost like I'm going to be shown soon.
Good. Well, as long as you understand his message, and
Well, I never met that, so.
no, but as long as you can understand, doesn't mean that they don't take an interest in us, of course.
Yeah, it's nice to actually meet him. It's happened.
You will
But it's
meet
nice to
him
know
again.
that there's a part of me.
Yeah. I feel that this is like just introducing. Is used me as the medium to introduce you.
Yeah, it's almost like I know where I get some of this from.
Well, then it explains it and it makes things clearer. Then, yeah. But another handshake. We have very formal gentlemen in with me. So. Thirsty. I don't normally drink when I'm.
It's the level.
Yeah.
And it's very dry in here tonight, isn't it?
Come to you, please. Yeah. I have a lady who's stepping forward, and she's making me feel like an aunt or a great aunt, but so sort of still a direct family member, but not straight up. But if she'd have been given me feeling a younger age, it was almost like I would have thought she was an older sister. Do you, because she's saying that you were close, if you're not sure, I'll go into the try and describe.
Yeah, if you could.
Yeah, no, that's it. Because usually with if people know, then we get a message. Now this lady, I want to say, she's taller than me, so probably about 5'4", 5. Okay, right.
If only they were all that easy.
Yeah. My team work on the principle, as soon as somebody knows what it is,
Get
just
on with it.
the message,
Yeah,
rather
me
than lots of evidence. But yeah, but no, but she's been trying to, when I say get through to you, it's almost as if you've been sending thoughts, not necessarily directly to her, but sending thoughts about a situation. And she's been trying to come and, because I feel this was what she was like in life. She was like the go-to person who could put a rational thing, the one who could be the logical, rational, and almost look at problems and problem solving in the third party rather than that.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean that she wasn't an emotional person, but when it came to solving problems, and she's been trying to get through to you to help with whatever it is around you. Right, okay. You understand that it's not so much as an issue problem, it's more like options to take. The right way out, because she's saying that it's considering both ways of going forward, as if there's two options, like two options. Yeah. And in this clinical way, which she isn't a clinical person, but it's like the pros and cons, and then the pros and cons. So she's trying to instill in you that third party, looking at it as if you're watching a film, rather than being in, because it's the emotion within. Yeah. And it's almost as if everything will fall into place then, simply because you know from your heart. She's telling me that you know things from your heart, but it is like the soul, you've got that gut feeling, that intuition. And you've got to look at it dispassionately so that you can let that, it's almost as if you've covered the solar plexus up, so you've blocked off your, that the bit that's you've lived your life by, really. You've always known what is the right thing for you. Sorry, I just... No, I was just looking at that lady's face when I was yeah. But it's like in this case, it's as if it's not working. But it is. You've got to just look at it from a distance. She's actually taking me to, where are we? September, but later on in the year. I'm not sure if she means this year or every year, but sort of around about end of October, November being a significant time. Yes? Well, it's anniversaries, birthdays, all the...
Okay, I'll bear that in mind, because sometimes we have all sorts of things happening, so I'm not sure.
Well, no, don't say that, because I don't leave things with people. You know what I mean? If you can't take it, I'll take it home with you, sort of thing. I don't sort of say, no, she's talking about it's a significant sort of it's a birthday, and we're talking about towards the end of October, and in fact into the beginning of November, where it's an anniversary, a birthday.
My son's birthday,
Well,
that's at the end of
Yeah, well, no, that's fine. It's almost as if the validation she wanted. You know what I mean? Because it was to, you very much like her, is that she's telling me because you need to know the proof. You don't accept anything, do you? You know, in that. So she, I didn't think I was going to get all that sort of dates and names this evening. It was more about getting the message across. But yes, so if your son's birthday, that's it. That's fine. But it's similar to the message. It's not like you've got to take everything on board yourself. And I don't feel that it's just about that thing she's been talking about. It is about, in general, and
I do. I take everybody's worries and
yeah.
all my family.
She's just saying, you've been told this before, and you never listen anyway. So she's wondering if she's wasting. Because she's saying, yeah, she'll be agreeing, but will she listen? But it's because so alike.
Yeah, she used to tell me, she
Yeah.
used to say to me,
Yeah.
stop taking on everybody's worries.
It's almost as if, and this isn't a criticism or meaning it's a negative thing, but it's almost as if they're not getting the experience they're supposed to be getting. My team I don't use to like lessons, we're here for experiences, but it's almost as if they're not learning that the experience. So if you think about it that way, you might listen, she's saying. Because that's the rational, everything that we do is for a reason.
I had this conversation with my daughter, saying, because she's very much like me, and you said we need to let the boys experience things, otherwise they won't learn.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for validating that for me, because that's what she's made me. But notwithstanding and they're not faults, but notwithstanding the little tweaks that could be made, she loves you to bits. And that's her word, loves you to bits. Do you like Jaffa cakes?
Yes.
She's just put Jaffa cakes into my head. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
because it wouldn't have been my thoughts, I don't, but, well, obviously, she loves you to bits and have some Jaffa cakes. Okay.
Something else to add to the Jammy Dodger shopping list from 15 minutes left.
It always goes stuff. I don't want to. Can I come to? Yeah. I have a gentleman who's stepping forward. He's making me feel like father, but not father, if that makes sense to you. It's like a gentleman who would have looked after your interests, cared for you, like a father. No?
I'll say my father business spirits.
No.
Okay.
Do you have a father-in-law in spirit?
Yeah.
I think it's that then, because it's. But you had did you have a close relationship? Yeah. So it's the father-in-law. They've done it that way so that it's like the father, but not your father. So it's your father-in-law then. Okay. Is that all right?
Well, it's an ex-father.
It makes no difference. It makes no difference. Because if they, sometimes don't even make that distinction. And they certainly don't think about what they think of human relationships, because there is a connection. You had a connection when he was here, so you still have that connection. He has been, you understand, you've been getting some healing, but I don't feel it's necessary in a physical way. Emotional healing, you understand that? Emotional healing, yes. Because that's what he's stepped closer, but he has been, it's almost as if he needed to make sure you were all right. That's what, it's that caring like a father. That's what it is, even when he was passed. He's been, I do feel that he was quite, his words, an obtrusive gentleman. You understand this? Yeah. So it's like he's been in the background, you know, not wanting to make himself totally known to you, but he still has this connection because he cared for you. And he wants you to know that actually what you've said makes sense. It's more, it doesn't matter about circumstances. That caring and really respecting and loving you has never changed. And he wants you to know that, and he's there for you to support you. There are others as well, but he just wanted to step forward and let you know that that cord hadn't been cut. It never could have been. And if he was still here, it would have been obvious that it couldn't be as well. So he just wanted you to know that he can't say everything's going to be all right, because they can't say, you know, because that sounds like predict, you know, but things will, it's almost as if you'll understand after the effect, the reasons behind things. That sounds a bit cryptic, but do you understand that? Yes. Yes. And he's showing me a box of tissues. It's almost, and he's not wanting to embarrass you now, but it's almost like he sees you when you're feeling what other people don't see. And that's when he tries to give this energy along with others. He wants you to know that you're never alone, as was said before. Yeah. And he's taken me to the hymn, one more step along the way we go. And I got that right because I got my real validation. A lifetime is a journey, but every journey is just one step at a time.
Yeah.
And you're going to be the next step. And I mean, we're not allowed to now anyway. But it's, if I could, I would just give you this big bear hug, because I feel that he was not an overly demonstrative person, but if he did, it was a bear hug as opposed to, you know, just a peck. But no, you're never alone. Know that it's almost as if one day the truth will be told. I'm just leaving it at that, isn't it? But yeah. But he's just drawing on his strength, he's saying. Just fetch him to you and he'll be there. Have I got time for another one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, it's just I don't know. I lose track of time, so.
Yeah, fine.
So. Is that all of it?
Yeah.
I have got a lady that's drawing close to you,
Okay.
and it makes me feel very much like grandmother.
Yeah.
That makes sense to you. But you understand you're very like her.
Yes.
Sorry, it's just a phrase she's just used. You're very handy with your hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it's not just that, but it's you like crafting and all
Yes.
that sort of thing.
Yes.
And she's been joining close to you because have you started a new project or you're about to start something different?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because she's really getting excited about it.
Yes.
Because it's almost as if she's living, it's as if she can do it again through you.
Yes.
And she's saying, really, no, with you.
Yes.
It isn't through you. But you shouldn't share all your secrets. And this is about how you do things.
Yes.
You know, because you have got a talent that other people might copy.
Yes.
Is the nice way of putting it. You understand?
Yes.
You understand? Yeah, exactly. Keep it there. Because, not everybody's as open.
Yes.
And she's using the word nice.
Yes.
It's a twee word, but it's nice in that proper word. Not everybody's the same as you.
Yes.
And she's saying darling, so I have to say darling. Not everybody's as nice as you, darling.
Yes.
But she's so looking forward
Yes.
to it. And upstairs are trying their best to let this talent of yours be seen and recognised.
Yes.
Does that make sense? It's, I'm not, it's almost, I have to come in, I'm not going to hug you, but I've got to, I'm not allowed. Can I do?
Yes.
That's not going on. When I see you again, when we can do proper hugs and things, they actually wanted me to come and I said, no, I'm not supposed to do that. So that's the equivalent, wasn't it?
Thank you.
You're 1 in a million,
Yes.
1 in a trillion,
Yes.
and you don't know how much joy you give them here and up there.
Yes.
Take her love
Yes.
and not Jaffa cake, a big box of Smarties.
Take the blue ones out though.
But like Smarties.
Yes.
Perhaps that's a hint.
Yeah.
That's it.
What a way to end that. Ladies and gentlemen, Ferguson! Bit more.
Bit more to that. There we go. I can start again.
Hey, lovely. Ladies, gentlemen, friends, a big Littleport thank you. The wonderful, wonderful mediumship. I'll have that back. Linda Ferguson! And to complete and commute the whole theme. You can tell when a theme is working because it runs like a thread through a whole service. From the cautionary tale of walking around with our eyes closed to the need for upliftment and opening those eyes, to the need of hope, to the world of his spirit, encouraging the medium to sing even though she didn't. But I can conclude with the statement that ties it all in a bow and a ribbon. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, it's only a day away. It is fun though. on amongst yourselves while we just talk shop, but it is fun when they use songs to convey that emotion and that theme and that feeling. I mean, there was a few songs that were feeding into me as you were speaking that were quite pertinent to me and my day as well. So, you know, they're really, really good at that. And I'm reminded that Spirit also have a naughty sense of humour. And I probably told this story once already this month, but I'm reminded of our good old George, Reverend George, healer extraordinaire. Because if you want a message for yourself and one of us types isn't about, you can just ask Spirit for a message and turn the radio on. And the words of the song will give you a message. There is one word of caution. Do not ask someone who has got a very, very naughty sense of humour, especially when you are on the way to conduct his cremation. Because when you ask Spirit for a message and say, George, are you there? Give me a message, darling. And you turn the radio on and all you get is, it burns, burns, burns the ring of fire. You'll know that the world of spirit is trying to get you in trouble. Of course, what can make it even worse is that your dad is driving you and he puts his foot down and Mum doesn't turn the radio down because she doesn't know where we are. And he turns into the crematorium with the words blaring out of the window. I went down and the flames went higher. I am not joking. I am deadly serious. And when I meet people randomly in the streets, or I don't know, in a petrol station, I give them the guidance of, if you need some help, just turn the radio on. I have been known in the past to say, oh, you look really, really down at work. The next song that comes on the radio for you is for you. So the next song that comes on the radio is for you. And usually it works. But I do advise caution when you're dealing with corporate radio, because sometimes the message for you is, buy one, get one free. But there you go. So it does have its limits. But Spirit can reach us and bring that upliftment and that love. And they certainly have done tonight through your mediumship. So thank you so much. And remind me to talk about feeling Spirit when we've got this lot gone. Okay. I want to chat with you, because we do have a similar way of working, you see, and I want to ask you something. So there we go. Every day is a learning day. Well, friends, I think we can safely say that we've had joy, we've had upliftment, we've had emotion, and we've had, most importantly, contact with the world of spirit. And that is what matters. But now, my friends, it's time to prepare ourselves, because in a moment, she had a week off. That's a week off. You weren't quite at Scotland, but you might as well have been. You were only throw a stone away and you were there. You know, he's had a week off and he's got back into the swing of it as well, our new director of technology. So, you know, thank you for that. But we are going to have the raffle in a few moments. But of course, we do have to have our prayer. I will just ask for one small request. When you bring the bucket, can you bring me one of the mugs, love? Because I forgot to pick one up on my way back down. All will be revealed. He sits winking at someone so discreetly that he looks like some creepy old weirdo, but there you go. Nothing changes there. Friends, let us join together in closing prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, we thank you for the opportunity to unite as friends under your banner of love and hope and friendship. We ask that the light shine upon each person here present and all those that they represent. And of course, let your light shine upon all those watching at home. flung across the four corners of the earth, but united in a desire for proof, for truth, and upliftment. And as we go out into that world, let us remember, Great Spirit, that there is hope in a new dawn. And as the light comes up above the mountain, even though it may seem like a struggle, we ask that you don't move it. Just give us the strength to climb. Until we meet again, which will, as ever, be in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Friends, let's give a big thank you to our medium for tonight, Linda Ferguson. Thank you to everyone who dives in, helps out. Of course, thank you to Techie Gee. Thank you to our new camera operator. Thank you, dear. Who might be pleased to know that I'm about to do some shameless promotion. Because this part, talking about songs and things we're remembering, we started with children's shows, we're finishing with children's shows. Today's service is brought to you by the letter H for hope, by the number 2, because you're never alone, and by Westcott Aromas, who's making these really lovely mugs with the new Christian Spiritualist Society logo upon them. And they are for sale both at the front of the hall, as you are preparing to depart after your tea and social, but also available on Tinterweb for all you guys at home should you wish to purchase. And do you know what? Not only are these absolutely lovely, not only are these artistic and well-made, I mean, they do, it's not the first time this week she's promoted a piece of artwork that I've made, you know, look for Littleport Life for details, you know, that's all I'm saying. But she's also very kindly donating a portion of the value to the church. And I think that's just so wonderful. So, you know, yes, absolutely. So don't get mugged off by other drinking containers. Get your mug around this mug. And she'll also put your own mug on it if you want to as well, because she does do personalised products as well. So shameless promotion almost over. We're back next week. Mother, who's the medium? Martin Quigley is back next week. That would be wonderful. I haven't seen him in a while. We haven't seen an Eminem for a while, and we certainly haven't had Eminem in here for a while either. But we haven't seen Martin for a while, so it'd be lovely to welcome him back. And I'm fully aware, because I keep getting in trouble from our medium secretary, also known to me only as Mother, well, apart from by my sister, but I mean in the hall, that I'm not quick enough at getting the posters up. So tonight when I drop her off home, I'm going to take a photo of her diary, and I'm going to do a month in advance. And I'm going to send it to you too, Veronica Jenkins. I might even send you the rest of the year to save you asking. Yeah, I just, if you do get bored at home and you want to have some spiritual upliftment, go to Veronica Jenkins' online church services page, because I think she's got it so lit that pretty much every church service, no matter what affiliation, for that day on a timeline is there ready for everyone to watch. She does that every day, and she was feeling guilty and apologized for having a day off because she was poorly, the poor lady. So she's wonderful, and she does a wonderful, wonderful job. So obviously 7:40 on a Thursday night is Littleport night, we know that. But the rest of the week, you know, there's plenty of other spiritual upliftment out there around the world. And of course, you know, lots and lots of randomly timed and specific days as well from the New Christian Spiritualist Society. You've got Reverend Tony Swindles up north who does his online services. The reason I mention that, of course, is because I have news. He's acquired a dog sitter. What's so funny about that? He's got a dog sitter. And what does it matter to us? Well, I'll tell you the reason why he's got a dog sitter and what matters to us. Because in October, he's coming here in the hall, and he will actually be here in the flesh. So we're getting the two of us in the same room together for the first time ever. Won't that be interesting? You're all in so much trouble. So there's so much to look forward to, which should, of course, give us hope. So, friends, we've heard in the demonstration of mediumship, and of course Linda didn't know this, that someone's quite crafty in more ways than one, quite arty, and that she's got a new project on the go. Well, of course, she has a new project on the go every Thursday, because this young lady does psychic encaustic art. And that is Bully's special prize for the week, which I will give a flash up on the camera in a minute. So we know what time it is. It's raffle time. Yes, Mother.
The packet of sweets, I tore the paper when I got them out of the bag, but that is a new bag.
It is. I can guarantee you that I was standing next to her in a, due to copyright and promotional purposes, unnamed supermarket this afternoon when she bought them. She doesn't eat sweets, so she hasn't had a nibble. It is a full packet. I might not be, but that is. So, friends, get your raffle tickets ready. But in the meantime, a big thank you to Linda Ferguson, to Matt, to Bully's Special Prize Corner, to my two lovely ladies at the door, and of course to our newest camera lady, new technical director there. The technical department's starting to outnumber me, I'm worrying. And of course to all of you lovely people coming here week in, week out, we thank you. And God bless you. And I say, may the peace of the Great Spirit go with you all. But until next week, God bless you. Thank you. And now it's over to Raffle Corner. 729. Last one last week, first one this week. Oh yes. Do come along and pick a prize. 751.
751.
Hey, the longest walk in the building, what can I say? 733.
733.
Bless you.
Okay.
Pick again, dear. Give it a good shake. You do the shake and vac and put the freshness back. 726.
726.
Shake it. Shake.
That's a record.
Give it a shake. I cannot twerk. I'm not giving him a try.
There's the time and place.
Not with me, love. 722.
722.
Hey! There you see. 739.
739.
I've just realised I haven't got the camera.
Next is 737.
Like the Boeing 737.
737.
Go on.
Okay, last one.
739.
735.
735.
You sure? Pull it.
Come on, I've got one more.
Give another jiggy jiggy.
We've got to get this away.
Okay. 742.
742.
742.
Hey!
Oh.
Right, okay.
So, ooh, you get this.
Lovely. I will bring it down to you in a mo. Because Hannah! What time is it? Oh, I've got a dance as well. Well, the special prize goes this evening, which nearly lost me through. 738. Cross your cart. Allah Hannah goes to you. You don't get a choice. Whether you have another prize or not, you get given it. Because lots of the time when we're talking about how it's given and Spirit decides, of course, I swear she knows every week.
Nick, can I just say, what does that look like?
For me, it looks like a bunch of roses.
The lady that came through earlier, next right? Yes.
What did I say to you earlier? Because I do actually get sent a hint. Nick, what do you think? All I replied was, wow, a pot of rose. Well done, mate. Look at that young medium developing over there.
What was said? You've got a special talent?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my guide tends to play around against me with that young one. And frankly, that sense of humour, dear God, well, I'm in trouble. We're all in trouble. Well, friends, thank you all. May the peace of the Great Spirit go with you all. God bless you all. And good night. And the kitchen is now ready to receive you. Over to you, Maestro. Hit that button.
Hi, everyone.
Good night.